Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, I hope you're doing well. Yesterday I had a very interesting chat with someone who works for BCA. They let out some information that I thought was quite exciting. It would be very interesting to many car dealers, as well as the public as well, I imagine this might affect. If not immediately, then in the near future at least. Currently this is just a rumour, I don't think this has officially been announced. I haven't been asked to speak about this, it's not a sponsored pitch or anything like that. I just thought it would be interesting to get it out there, get everyone's thoughts, see how they think it might affect them or not, and what their thoughts are in general. Just have a general bit of a chinwag about BCA. Before we get into all that though, I just want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is Vehicle Score. Many of you would have seen me talking about Vehicle Score before because it is the really handy free vehicle check. If we head over to vehiclescore.co.uk, all you need to do is input your registration and it will give you a score from 1 to 999, how good it scores your car based on its MOT history, its age, mileage, and loads of other factors that it checks. I need a registration. All I can think of is Victor X-Ray 66 Kilo Uniform Golf. That is Duncan, my plumber's van, and the only reason I remember that is because it was my van for quite a while. 999. Top marks. That, I imagine, is because it's never failed an MOT, because Bera Motors has always checked it over before we've sent it anywhere. It's generally just been very well looked after. You can go down, there's loads of information. There's the MOT history, which we can see is 100%. Mileage tracker, consistently going up the same amount. Tells you its estimated lifespan. Loads of vehicle details. And a new feature I haven't seen before, it tells you how many times this vehicle is being viewed in the last 30 days. That's interesting, isn't it? To know how many other people might be looking at buying it. Obviously gives you your score insights. And most importantly, if you're looking to buy a car and you're going to hand over your hard-earned cash, it's always important to do a background check, which Vehicle Score have you covered for. Their cheapest report is a Salvage Plus report for only £2.97, and then they do their ultimate report, which is £8.97. Covers everything from an insurance write-off and repair to a salvage, to taxi, police, mileage, clocking, etc. It will give you a full report, give you peace of mind before you hand over your money. Use my code SHIFTINGMetal15 and that is only £7.62. Right, so a lot of you probably know that BCA haven't run physical auctions since the pandemic hit us in 2020. And they had to make this immediate switch to online. To start off with, it was a bit clunky and awkward and not a great system. Most of it was on a buy now, so they just put a price that the vendor wanted and you could buy it and then you could go and collect it, but they would no longer allow you to on-site to walk around and collect your car from the back car parks and bring them out like we always used to. It has developed from there. Obviously all auction houses have kind of adapted since then, including BCA, but most of them have gone back to their physical auctions, which BCA haven't. I think there's been an element of, there's probably labour saving for them, maybe some insurance saving, and I think there's largely an element of arrogance. They are the biggest auction house in the country. They do the most amount of turnover, and I'm sure they think that, well, actually, if this works best for us, then we'll stick with how we're doing it, and the customers will still keep coming. In fact, if I head over to their own website, bca.co.uk, and it says, buying with BCA, are you currently holding physical auctions? No, all sales are online for trade account holders only. All sales will be conducted online either through our e-auctions or via our BCA Bid Now and Buy Now channels. To upgrade to buy online with BCA, you need a BCA trade account and current motor trade insurance. If you meet the application criteria, you can apply here. Well, if that is you, and you do want to buy from BCA, then that is where you head. bca.co.uk/help/buying-with-BCA. So, as far as I'm aware, BCA haven't held a physical auction since 2020. There was very much a quick change of how the system works. They already had an online system, which I used to use quite a lot. And in fact, back in those days, you used to pay a premium for, I think you used to pay about £55 to win a car online via the online system, which just seems baffling now because they got rid of that pretty much immediately because the only option to buy with them was online. I used to buy a lot of cars online via them regardless of whether they were holding physical auctions anyway, because I just couldn't dedicate a load of time to standing in an auction hall to maybe buy one car, maybe buy no cars, of a half a day spent in the auction hall. So I would quite often go there in the morning, check the cars over, see what they look like, at least cosmetically. I could go back and I could watch online and you would see them drive through the hall at least. You can see whether they were in a cloud of smoke. You could hear whether the auctioneer was saying, oh yeah, that sounds tapping, it's tapping. They would give you some information so you would know And for me, it was worthwhile on the few that I would win, that extra 55 quid. It saved me a lot of time because, especially when you're starting out in this business, you are doing every aspect of it. So I needed to be somewhere else doing something else. It allowed me to buy cars while I wasn't there. When the pandemic hit, they switched pretty much to a buy now system. That was all they had for a short while. The vendor would set a price, you could buy it, and then you could go to the auction house and collect it. But you were no longer allowed to walk around into the back lots of the auction house, BCA, as they used to. The way it used to work was you used to be able to go into the auction hall, you could bid, say you won that car, you could immediately walk out to the payment desk, say, I've just won this. They would print out an invoice for you, you could pay that, they would give you all the documents which they had on file back there. You'd walk around to the key office, say, I've just bought this, have you got the keys? If the car had been parked up and the keys had been brought back, they just hand you the keys and they'll tell you it's in row D. You would head off, looking at the map, to find where that car was, parked in the back, and you would drive it out the gate, show them your little pass-out slip, and they'd let you out and off you were with your car. It's a lot more complicated than that now because you have to book a collection, they won't allow you onto site, they bring it out for you, you need to be there at a specified time. So it's definitely got more complicated in that sense. And while I think they've saved on labour with having to drive the cars through the auction halls on the auction days, they've probably created more work in getting these cars out into the car parks so that customers can collect them, all that sort of stuff. So I'm not sure if they really have saved on manpower or not. I don't think BCA have ever made any bones that they weren't going to come back to physical auctions. I was looking back and found another article from Car Dealer Magazine. This is from April 16th, 2021. BCA will not be restarting physical auctions in the foreseeable future, with rumours intensifying they may never return. BCA is understood not to be planning to restart physical sales at all this year, with one dealer boss revealing they've been told by senior BCA personnel they are unlikely to ever return. Now what's interesting, obviously all the other auction houses went back to having a physical sale, and I think they've been doing well from it. BCA is the only one that's stuck with saying they aren't going to hold physical auctions ever again. While they are still the biggest auction house, you may well have seen my previous video where Constellation Group, who owns We Buy Any Car, BCA, Marshalls and Cinch, have lost over £100 million last year. Maybe they're starting to feel the pinch of not running their physical auctions. I'm sure that's obviously not the whole story. What my insider from BCA was saying yesterday is that they've actually had big vendors come to BCA, so the likes of car supermarkets, main dealers, main dealer groups, saying to them that other remarketers, the likes of G3 Auctions, Mannheim, Aston Barclay, are outperforming BCA now in terms of the return percentage that they are getting. And the glaringly obvious thing is that maybe it's because customers can go to those other auctions and they can see the car, they can feel the car, they know exactly what they're going to buy, which gives them more confidence to pay a bit more money for it. It makes sense, doesn't it? BCA never had the greatest rep for being completely honest, and I don't think any auction house is ever going to, but ever since it's been online only, I think it's probably only got worse. So the whole point of the video, what is this interesting news? Well, I am told that BCA are going to hold a physical auction. It's going to be on the 8th of December at their Nottingham branch, and they're going to sell at least 500 cars to make it worth their while. Now, it is only one sale at the moment, so I can't guarantee that it's going to go back to that forever. But is it a sign of them testing the waters, thinking that they ought to go back to doing at least some physical auctions? Even if they're not back at full capacity, running some physical auctions, I think, is going to help their brand trust among dealers and people who want to come buy the cars, because you can't really use the excuse that, oh, they're not allowing you to see the car, so they're trying to hide things from you, because there will be opportunities to go and do that. Rumours are that they might start doing not all auction houses reopening, but at least a north site and a south site that are going to be running physical auctions. It would be amazing for me if that was the Bridgewater site that's just down the road from me, but I think it's probably more likely to be Blackbush. Much larger site. It's absolutely huge, and they've expanded recently as well. But we did discuss that there are other drawbacks. Now that everything's been adapted to being online only, there isn't any customer parking because it's been converted into more storage. The cafe at Blackbush BCA has been converted into offices now, so there's no food facilities on site. So there'd need to be some serious adaptations made if they are going to start doing regular auctions again. We don't think it's going to go back to every site again. That just wouldn't make sense for them, I don't think. But it would be interesting still, even if there are physical auctions being held north, south, so you could get to one if you wanted to. I would love to go to this one on the 8th of December in Nottingham. Unfortunately, I'm going to be away on holiday in Lanzarote. Win some, you lose some, don't you? I might, if I'm on a sun lounger by the pool, pull up the auctions online and watch it so I can at least see the cars driving through just for nostalgia's sake, just to see it happening again, because I think it is quite a big, important thing. If they bring back physical auctions, it would bring back some kind of brand confidence, as I say, for BCA. It would also bring back the opportunity for private customers to go in and buy from them. You could come in the morning, register, give them your ID, go in and bid, and you could take a car on the same day, which is what always used to happen with the auctions. Back in the days when I used to go in and we were buying cheap cars, so would the public be, and pretty much every time I was there was a member of the public having a screaming argument with someone behind the payment desk because they didn't realise that there were fees involved. They didn't realise that the car they were bidding on didn't have MOT. They didn't realise that they weren't going to get a warranty, and they didn't realise that they wouldn't get drive-away insurance. So that always used to give us a laugh, although I did feel sorry for the staff. Quite frankly, the biggest loss for me as far as physical auctions no longer running at BCA has been that I can't use my BCA Platinum card to get a half-price breakfast. Back in those days, it was £4 for a fry-up with a cup of tea, and you would get that half price, £2. I was very tempted to go in and eat there every morning, but I think I probably wouldn't even fit in this room if I'd been doing that for the last few years. Anyway, that is my news. BCA holding an auction, 8th of December in Nottingham. Not a sponsored post, not trying to promote it. I probably shouldn't even say, I might even get in trouble for this. I hope they don't ban my account, but who knows? I'm sure they'll be publicising it soon enough. Let me know whether you'll be attending, whether you'd like to see BCA come back to physical auctions, whether you used to go to their physical auctions and you no longer buy because it's all online. Any of your thoughts, I'd be interested to hear. Even if you're a member of the public and you think you might be tempted to go and buy a car, get yourself a bargain at a physical auction if they were running them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do get a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification. I've actually been invited to another auction. I'll be going to at the end of this month. We should have a video out in December. An amazing looking auction site, a purpose-built £12 million auction hall. I'm absolutely thrilled to have been invited, so I'm looking forward to going there and getting some great content. Of course, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Check out my website, Shifting Metal, which will have all of my discount codes, including those for Vehicle Score, as well as merchandise, should you want any, and even some great deals on Nextbase dash cameras. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.